Sometimes I do agree with Thanos by wiping out the half of the universe. Okay, that is disintegration effect that you saw using only iPad and mobile phone, which I use iPhone 12 Pro Max, and I use the iPad Pro M1 chip to edit the video. It's not necessary you need to have that particular model so that you can do the effect, but you can use any type of mobile phone or iPad or any tab, because the important part here is the software. For the filming, I use FilMic Pro. To achieve the disintegration effect in iPad, you need to use 3 applications, which is number 1 is Lumafusion app for the editing, number 2 is Photoshop app, number 3 Pixart app. Like you already know, there is a lot of tutorial out there in YouTube teaching disintegration effect, but all the tutorial is always use Adobe After Effects or Premiere Pro, which in this show we always try to use mobile platform to achieve the effect. So there comes all these 3 applications to achieve the effect. Without further ado, let's jump into the editing part. Before we jump into the editing part, let me brief you roughly about what you need to shoot in your filming process, which was very straightforward, where you need an empty shot and a shot where you start to do your action of fainting or dying, literally. And that's all footage that you will need to achieve this effect. Now we can go to the editing part, which is in your new project in Lumafusion. Add the footage that you're doing the action, select the part that you are stop moving and make a cut. This will be the end of the video clip, and then take a snapshot. After that, go to Photoshop app. I'm going to show you another method of masking, which is much more faster than previous method that I showed to you. In this new Adobe Photoshop app for iPad, there is a feature called Select Object. This will make the masking much more easier and faster. Press the selection tool and then select subject. So what will happen? Photoshop will start to analyze the picture and select the subject only. To get a better and faster result, try to wear clothes which is contrast with your background color. Like me, I'm using a black shorts and also a black color t-shirt. So it makes the Photoshop easier to recognize the subject and select myself. After the selection done, try to check all the edges whether you need to do any minor adjustment. After you do all the adjustment, do the invert selection. This will select background rather than selecting your subject. Go to the brush tool and then select green color and start to color the whole screen. Now you can see that the brush tool only color the background color, because that is the selection where you need to do some changes. That's all you need in Photoshop. Now you export this picture and save to your iPad. Next, you open Pixart app and then select plus and then add the picture that just now you saved from Photoshop. Select tools and then dispersion. Draw a mask on the subject. Draw mask bigger than the subject. This will make sure the whole subject is changing to dust. You will see the reason why in a while. Now you already see the dispersion effect is take part. But now we need to do some minor adjustment. First, you need to increase all the particles so that it looks like a dust. Press the size and reduce to 0. This will make sure the particles become more. Next, you press the direction. This is the direction where the particle is start to fly. So depends on you which side, which in this case I will be taking the top left. After you select the direction, now you need to do the animation. So how to do this animation is simple. You turn on your screen recording, where here I cannot turn on because it was running. So when you come to this part, make sure you turn on the screen recording and then go to stretch. Make sure you put your stretch until 0 and start to increase the stretch from 0 to 100. But don't do it fast, do it very slowly to make sure you catch every single particles like this. I move my finger very slowly so that I get the best result. Don't worry about the jittery effect. Later we'll fix this movement in the Lumafusion app. Just continue until you reach 100% and make sure you don't stop in between, because this is a screen recording that you're doing and this is the animation that will take part in your final video. And that's all. Done. Finish. Now you can stop your screen recording, and then next you go back to your Lumafusion app, put this action footage on the second layer. On your main first layer, put your empty shot. After that, add the screen recording that just now you created in the timeline. Select the part that you start to disintegrate, and then after finish, make a cut. Add the part that you did all the effect. Like I said, you need to do some adjustment on the speed, which is very simple. Double tap the clip and then go to the speed and increase to 6 times faster. Now when you play, you will able to see the disintegration effect is taking part. So next, crop all the unnecessary part. Select only the green color. Okay, now put on top of this last end of the clip. This is to move the position and the size of this picture to match with the original clip. So reduce the opacity to 50% and try to match the position exactly where you fell. Adjust the parameter to get the best position that look alike. So here already done, so I have the perfect place and it matched perfectly. After you did your adjustment, increase back the opacity to 100%. Put the clip after the action, double tap, go to colors and effect, and then select keyhole, select green key, and then try to reduce the edge blur and then reduce the brightness to increase the dust particles. Now you're able to see the disintegration effect take part. So to sell the effect more, change the position of the action footage on the third layer on top of this green layer, and then do this overlap on top of the disintegration effect footage. Add some cross dissolve to make sure the shadow of the subject reduce gradually. Now you need to do the dust disappearing effect, which is very simple. Select the part that you want the dust start to disappearing, and then go to keyhole back, then go to green screen key, add a keyframe, go to the end of the clip, add another keyframe, and then increase the erosion distance until 100%. Then you're able to see that the disintegration effect start to take place and start to disappear just like in the movie. Next is your favorite color grading, some sound effect, and your disintegration effect like in Avengers is done. Next, what you need is just a 6 infinity stone, and snap your finger, you start to disappear.
You should have gone for the head.
There you go. That's how you do a disintegration effect in iPad or iPhone, or I would say a mobile platform. So it's that easy to achieve the effect. That's all for this time. If you're a Marvel fan, make sure you check out this video where I show you how to create a third eye effect in Doctor Strange using only a mobile platform. So I'll meet you in that video. Until then, signing off, I'm Yad, and this is Filmography. Remember, simple method, awesome video.